Hi, just look at you. I'm sorry. Hi, my name is Jeff Burns. I'm the CEO and creative director of Infusion, and we're here to talk about Ember.
So, what is Ember all about? Let's start with talking about the story.
Okay, Ember is basically a commodity that is in our world, and it's interesting because if you think about what Ember is, I won't reveal too much of what the story is, but it is a power source, and everyone wants it. And some people have it, some people don't. And it's creating a lot of controversy in the world between a lot of races in the world. So it's really almost like it's a really big divide between the rich and the poor. The interesting thing is a lot of people don't really know what it is because it really came down, and they'll learn this through the beginning of the game, it came down from the sky 10,000 years ago and was found in mines. So again, not without revealing too much of the story, I will equate it to oil in our world. That's the best, because that was really the first thing we were thinking, like, what is it? Okay, and sometimes in our world, we will have some sort of resource that we are digging away at, and it's super, super valuable, and we really don't know what the consequences are. Or we kind of do, but we just want to ignore it for now. So basically what your role in the game is basically try to unite everybody in understanding what it is that they're dealing with, and actually, make sure that the world itself doesn't kind of destruct between war and this specific commodity that everyone is seeking.
So, what is the setting and time frame of this role-playing game?
It is, I would say, I don't want to say standard medieval, because we really didn't follow standard medieval rules when we did the art direction. So if you look, the art direction, there is no time. I'm not going to say it's like 100 years BC or whatnot. It's the Infusion world of Ember, and there are so many different areas so it's not necessarily like something like if you look at like a game like Fable, there's a very distinctive art style. And it's medieval England, very skewed. Our game is very much all over the place. It has some of that. It has some stuff that looks like desert Fallout type of towns. It has big snowy mountains with giants in it. It has desecrated libraries. So it goes all over the place. So I can't really say what is the time frame of the game. It's really more what's the art style of the game. And there's a lot of creatures. There are some creatures that you've heard of, and there's some that you haven't not heard of. We have these characters that are called shepherds, and they're kind of really big, almost dinosaur-looking things, and they're very peaceful. They take care of animals, and so that gives you an example. It's like we really made a lot of our own type of basically fiction into this game.
Now, you've designed this game for PC as well as for mobile. Talk a little about the controls and how you work that out.
Actually, the game was designed specifically for mobile. There was no games on mobile at the time, and we wanted something from ground up, nothing that was a port. And we thought the touchscreen was a really beautiful way of doing it. The PC was kind of I don't want to say a no-brainer, but we've seen so many games that use controls like this for the PC that we knew we would be able to make it work. Plus, whenever we're building the games, we're using a custom engine. So whenever we're testing it, and we're building stuff in the custom editor that we've made, we're testing it on the PC using the PC controls. And what's great is they're really easy to change. So when I say, left click, the left click feels better doing this way. So I think when we get a little bit more into focus testing and whatnot, people will probably give us suggestions. But using the mouse is a real natural for the game as well as just the touchscreen. So there are differences in the interface, and I think that would really come down to the player and how they want to play it. Of course, the resolution of the iPad is much higher. Depending on what device. I'm sorry, what PC and what resolution they are. But most of them are running around 1080 right now. It's rare you don't see ones that are higher. I think it's just something that's changed. But the iPad has such high resolution; it makes the game look so much better.
How much depth is there for the mobile game?
Depth in terms of
size, scope. People are used to mobile being kind of pretty simple.
It's not very simple at all. What's interesting is we chose the depth of the game not necessarily to be stat heavy. So if you look at some of the other games, fantastic games out there like Pillars is great. A very stat-heavy game. Our game has all the stats. However, I would say the complexities in the world itself and how deep. Since the world, all the objects are dynamic and everything can be crafted, and everyone has schedules, and it's a very sandboxy type of role-playing game. So it's actually almost easier for the casual player because they're not really thinking about too much what the stats are. You know what I mean? They're just basically thinking about, oh, can I find a recipe to build this cool sword and add these skills to it? So it is. I'm going to call it hardcore casual because it is as hardcore as you want to get. But theoretically, when we're thinking about the crowd and who's going to play it, I wouldn't imagine a 6-year-old would want to play it. There might be. I can't be sure of that because I have a 6-year-old and she does play it. So, but basically, the complexity of the game, it's definitely not hardcore. It's about 30 hours of gameplay for the main quest, not including the side quests. So, if you speed run it, you might be able to do it a bit quicker. But that's pretty much it's broken down into 3 chapters. The side quests are good for like little bursts of gameplay, while the main quest plot lines, that's a little bit more sit down. You got to play for a little while. That's like an hour session. So.